Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with reviews on Actual Roger number 1 and Unit 44. So, both of these were recommended to me by one Eric Breen. You know, when he isn't confessing his utmost love for America Chavez and Gabby Rivera, he does give me a lot of good recommendation for comics, and especially with Alterna. So starting off with Actual Roger number 1. Welcome to your first issue, Roger. We hope you survived the experience. So, to put it simply, Actual Roger is a kind of a coming of age teen superhero comic. So this kid called Roger, who is kind of fallen out of just looking up to superheroes. He wants to start playing basketball and all that. Him and one of his friends, Clay, who is a huge superhero fan, they both discover a kind of a meteorite, something that lands in their backyard. Yeah, a meteorite that lands in their backyard and gives both of them powers. And Roger is given the ability to fly. Kind of. He can only hover like a few feet off the ground. So not really flying is the ability to hover off the ground. And when his mother calls for an emergency, apparently the whole army is sent. And I'm going to say very, very quickly, I might say, very quickly. You know, the military in this is quite effective, and they're quick responders to a kid that has superpowers. But they are met by Buck Silvestri of the Bureau of Anomalous Persons and his assistant Jorge Evaristo, who look to deal with people with superpowers to make sure, as he calls them, either happy accidents or bad accidents, see if they're going to be heroes or villains. So Roger is given the chance to become a sidekick to a hero, and it's one of the world's most known heroes. Magnanimo, probably not pronouncing that right. Magnanimo. I'll say Magnanimo. He's given a chance to be his sidekick, but before he goes, he discovers that his friend Clay has become Clay. That's his power. He's turned into this world's version of Clayface, just probably not psychotic yet. But Roger heads off. He's given just the code name so far, Actual Roger, hence the title of the book. And Magnanimo is not impressed with Roger. He only has the ability to just hover. It adds really not much, and he could get himself into danger. So, cover, I'm going to give this cover it's a nice cover, and it starts off a recurring gag of wait, you're Roger. You know, the Roger. Yes, I'm the actual Roger. I am Roger. Considering that he's a kid, and his only power is to pretty much hover. They're just like, we expected more. We expected more from someone that has superpowers. So I really like the cover. I'll give it it's a pretty good, simple, good art on the cover. So I'll say 4. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Art on the inside, I do like the cartoonish kind of style with the art. It's definitely, overall, it's really good art. But for sometimes, especially with like when Buck is introduced, and then later on at the end when Roger is sent to spend time with Magnanimo, it does, for some reason, the art kind of looks a bit blurry. I don't know if there was just how it comes off when it's printed, but I'll say art on the inside, it probably 3.5 to 4 out of 5. It's not bad. It's solid for the most part, but it does, for some reason, I don't know, it just looks a bit blurry, especially on the faces a bit. But story, I'll give that a 3.5 out of 5 for that one as well. It's a nice kind of coming of age teen superhero kind of in that way, but I enjoyed it, and I'll definitely pick up the next issue and see how it goes from there. So on to Unit 44. Don't worry, everything is just fine. No, it's not. So I'd describe this as a kind of buddy cop, Men in Black kind of series. So Agent Hatch and Agent Gibson. Hatch is the tall, muscly dude, and Gibson is the Shaggy Rogers Goku cosplayer. No, pretty much. If Shaggy went Super Saiyan, that's what he would look like. So we're introduced to Hatch and Gibson, and it turns out they haven't been paying their rent on a particular locker, which is containing a lot of stuff that their agency is looking after, a lot of dangerous extraterrestrial stuff, and it's been sold to a couple of hicks who take everything they find in there. So the two have to, after revealing it to their boss, what happened, Agent Ballard, he tells them they have to track down the contents of their locker, or else he's going to kill Gibson's girlfriend and threatens to kill Hatch's dog. So from the get-go, very clearly in this first issue, we have a understanding of how, or their personalities and the relationship between the two. Hatch is supposed to be the kind of I'm the tough guy in this situation. I'm the guy that will always be the bad cop, but he does have a slightly softer side as when Ballard threatens him. He says, "I'll kill your mother-in-law." It's just like, I'd be okay with that. It's like, okay, what about if I, put a bullet in your dog? And it's like, you monster! How dare you? How dare you kill my dog? He's precious to me, pretty much. So, and Gibson is kind of the slightly chill, more laid back of the duo. So I can see a lot of great, funny, comedic moments between the two. So very buddy cop between the two. So they're able to track down the contents of their locker. No, not the contents of the locker. The ones who bought the locker and took all the contents, and they've accidentally unleashed something. And I'll leave it there. So art on the inside. Art's not that bad. It's simple for the most part. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 on that. Cover the same. I'll give it a 3.5. This doesn't particularly happen, them being attacked by just a face with multiple hands and tentacles. So, but it's a nice, good, simple cover regardless. So 3.5. Story, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I like this whole dynamic between Hatch and Gibson. I'm eager and willing to see more of Unit 44, so I'll definitely be picking up issue number 2. So that is it for these two. Actual Roger number 1 and Unit 44 number 1. If you haven't already, I recommend at least checking them out, and thank you to Eric to recommending these. I have yet to read an Alterna comic that is legitimately bad. I've read stuff that is okay, I've read stuff that is good, and I've read stuff that's great. I have not read anything bad from Alterna. So that really tells a lot with a comic book company, given we're in the days where Marvel for the majority is bad and DC is deciding, hey, we want some of that bad action as well. So to have a comic book company that has, so far, at least for me, all of their stuff has just been okay to great, is really good. So if you haven't already, and if they interest you, definitely check out Actual Roger or Unit 44 or just anything from Alterna. They're great. Just check out anything from Alterna. So that is all. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.